Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's market analysis and trading and investing update. I'm your host, Mr. Bago. So, let's talk about what happened in the last 24 hours. So, I think a lot of people were concerned that S&P closed below 20 days moving average on that day, on November 15 on Friday. And then it has since then bounced back pretty hard until even yesterday's session. And I think the determining point was this one right here on Thursday. So the market tried to push down lower, but found a pretty good solid support on 20 days moving average and closed the day green. And we have just been ramping up ever since. Now, what you will also realize is that 6,000 level for S&P is actually our call wall, which is to say that lots of retail traders were betting on the market to the upside, but to make the most amount of money, the market maker will eventually try to keep the market below that value in order for them not have to pay out to those call options that the retail traders bought. And so we also know that statistically that every year or almost every year that after Thanksgiving weekend, we tend to see a little bit of weakness in the market. But that is by no means saying that, hey, this is the end of the bull market, but rather there's going to be some more opportunities that we can purchase the shares that we like at a cheaper level. Now, we also want to talk about the elephant in the room, which is NVIDIA. Obviously, that report was by no means a bad report. The market did get higher to $152 plus, but again, $150 was the call wall. So market maker tried to keep the share price below that level, and as a result, it accelerated the short selling in the market. So as a bull, you really want to pay attention to the weakening in the selling volume just as a bear, you want to look for the weakening in the buying pressure. So what does this tell us? We tried to go up, we got so down, and then we rebounded just for a little bit. Now you see, based on volume profile, we can see that the rebound was rather weak. Thus, the market just couldn't find any support, any strength afterwards. And so Nvidia sold off the very next day while the broad market was going up. And you can also see that Nvidia in the last couple months or so, we have been respecting this trend line pretty well, at least twice. You can see the touch points here. And that was a pretty bad sell-off on Nvidia that we just broke the trend line. I mean, that is not as major a trend line because this is hourly chart. But if we switch over to the daily, yeah, we're just right at the 100-day moving average. And also, Nvidia currently has call wall near $135 and $140. The rational thing to think about this is that Nvidia will close above $140 this week, but in my opinion, that is just going to be a rebound because Nvidia is not going to be full on bullish until it gets back and closes above this trend line. Now, the stock I want to talk about today is ASML and Micron. So we obviously could see that during the last session that while Nvidia was selling off, the chip stocks, most of the chip names like AMD and Applied Materials, maybe not so much, but Qualcomm, these names were performing rather well as compared to Nvidia. Now, I mean, for Micron, we have been, if you're looking at the weekly charts, we have just been consolidating, right? We have been seeing some weakening in selling, and but not as strong for buying if you're looking at the weekly chart because we were just consolidating. You can see the resistance we're serving um, like very significantly on this level around $114. But as we push down the price, we found buying pressure. And so if you really look at daily, turn on our swing trading tools, it has been showing buy and has been just going up ever since. And we obviously closed the daily pretty strong, higher highs and higher lows with increasing volume, and BX Trender on MACD also turn, look at this. If you're lucky, today this thing is going to turn green. So yeah, pretty bullish on Micron over the next 2 to 3 weeks until we see any weaknesses, because right now we're staying above almost all major moving averages on the daily. If we can remain this situation, this is very bullish in my opinion. Now, the second stock I want to talk about is ASML. Obviously, it's a pretty bad beat up name over the last few months, but we can see that it is ready to go higher from here. I mean, damn, if you look at this weekly right now, we found support on this major moving averages this week. Obviously, volume, because we shouldn't be paying too much attention to the higher bearish volume over here just because it was green first and then the market tried to push it down, which is why you have to give a lot of this weight to the bullish side because there were a lot of buyers on this candle. And then we obviously found support, couldn't get above the moving average, but this week we did. And so if you want to really get a clearer picture of how this looks, just go to hourly, right? We have been making serious higher highs and higher lows. So that was actually, it fooled a lot of people, including me, because I thought I was in this trade. I sold some puts and then closed it for a profit, but I'm sure a lot of people who were alone, uh, purchased some calls, maybe some leaps, maybe it got some people stopped out just right here. But Wall Street likes to do this. You never set the stop loss at the most obvious level, otherwise you get kicked out, right? And in my opinion, this is full on bullish. If you wanna just filter out some noise, you can move over to 2 hours time frame. So as a bull in the market, what you really want to look for is the weakening in selling pressure. So to me, there is no selling pressure here. Look at this candle. Look at that volume. It is just ridiculous, right? The market is really not trying to do anything right now. So if the stock is not going down, it must be going up, right? And so I am looking at ASML. Obviously, there's a trend line there we want to pay attention to. But yeah, we finally closed above 20 days moving average. I mean, people were able to see this, and I think this is a pretty big deal for ASML because again, I know the company is going through some, maybe the sales is like declining substantially, but we're just trading the price action. We don't care about any of that. And as market is continuing to make all-time high, these stocks that are trading below their long-term average, this moving average, um, are the ones to be watching out for. And so just like SMCI, such a stock is trading above 20 days moving average. ASML has no reason to be trading below it. So again, I will see this as a somewhat downward channel consolidation. So when it makes a move, and it will, it's going to be pretty significant. So these are the stocks I'm watching for this week. I know it's long weekend. We do have market closure on Thursday. But so the way I play this is gonna be using leads, like longer term options with some hedging, maybe buying some puts or selling some, out of money calls to hedge my at the money calls. And the expiration date I'm looking at is December 20th. So I'm looking for this to, I will be adding down here, if it does retrace, I'll be setting my stop loss maybe at $640 level. And if this continues to go up, the next level you're watching is going to be this moving average here, $730. I don't think that's gonna happen uh, in that kind of near future, but I do see that $700, which being a very strong call wall, if we breach that level, 720, 730 will just be right around the corner. But if it goes as planned, I will be looking to size out a little bit if we do hit $700 this week. So that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed today's video and there will be more contents coming your way. And after today's session, I'll be updating on ASML and also Micron and any new other opportunities I'm looking at for this week. Thank you so much. Have a great one. Happy trading. Bye now.